thank you for choosing a really good song. Angel Child has really different parts and it's very complete as a for a lesson. So the way I'm gonna do it is um, I'm gonna stretch out little the different parts, the intro, then we can stretch out as well the verse and show you with the examples how to play and approach each one of the different parts. So that's how we're gonna approach this song. Okay. Angel Child has different parts. It has an intro that is very groovy, rock, very heavy. The verse is gonna be funky, and then I'm gonna introduce some little breaks in between that help to connect the different parts. Then it has also a bridge, which is a very kind of jazz approach. As well, it has then it comes back to the funky again, and all this has little connection parts that I'm gonna show you right now. And let's start. So for the intro, it's in 4/4. I like to open the hi-hat when I hit the snare at the same time to create a stronger sense of the 2 and 4. And I took that from Queen's drummer Roger Taylor. I love the way he plays, and that's like he got a lot of influence me. I'm gonna show you how I play on the intro, and we're gonna take it like that from there. So for the intro is I start with a crash. You can actually do that, or you can even exaggerate that gesture. Um, you can play it. It does. It's not about how hard you play, but the intention, how you open the hi hat and leave the hi hat open until you go into the kick. So the kick is pong do 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 pong pong do 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 pong do do pong pong do pong, and opening the hi hat when you hit the snare in 2 and 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have the funky beat, the connection. It starts right away. It's kind of like a double tempo. So we're going tang da 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 bum bum, and now we're da 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 da. It's kind of a double feel, kind of a we simply accelerate the song with the funky beat. I'm gonna show you the beat right now, and I like to do a lot of ghost notes, and some of them has more accent than other. So I'm gonna show you how I do my approach of this funky beat. 3, 4. So for this funky beat, what I like to do is keep 8 notes on the hi-hat. I'm not creating that much accent. I'm creating the accents with the left hand on the snare. I'm doing a lot of ghost notes and keeping the 1, 2, 3, 4 hat like the snare. I'm keeping it very accentuated, so you feel the da 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 da. The kick is just doing like da 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 da. It's following that bass line that it's on there, and I do some little accents on the snare. Tak tak tats tudun 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 tak tak tats at the end of the phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I like to do those ghost notes on the snare, because that's what Carlos is playing on the guitar. He's stroking the guitar. He's doing taga, tada, 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 tada. So I'm doing that with the snare. I'm marking those accents with the ghost notes, which is the the very subtle notes. I call ghost notes all the notes that are not really leading the groove, but they are like reinforcing, and at the same time they are like completing the groove by filling up all those gaps, and that gives a little bit of the groove. Faster speed tempo. And then we are gonna go into the chorus, and I connected both parts, the chorus and the verse, by doing a little figure with the tom and the cymbal. It's just an opening, boom, boom, ba, and I close the cymbal because we're gonna start the chorus, and I like always to start with some crash on there. So I kill the crash before and then start the crash with a new beat. The way I connected the verse into the chorus is by using a little phrase on the tom. It's just a little break that smooths the new beat, like it smooths into the new beat, the new tempo, because this is the chorus on this song has a very uh, kind of slow feel. Doesn't mean that it's not gonna have little intricate parts, like the kick is very fast during the chorus. But which is interesting is how I close the cymbal to start the chorus again, and we're talking about going from the funky beat into the chorus, and I'm gonna do it for you one more time. Let's do it one more time. That marks the end of the phrase for the cymbal. The cymbal marks the end of the closing, and with the snare, just close, and we're ready to start the chorus. For the chorus, it has uh, this syncopated figure of the hi hat. It's syncopated. It's always on the E. So tick 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 da boom ding da dum. It's always on the E. So the hi hat on this part, it's always on the E, and the accents of the snare are always gonna be on 3. Okay. So for the chorus, I'm gonna be marking always the hi hat is gonna be on the E, so it's always syncopated. It's always on the upbeat, and the snare, it's a phrase of 8, so the snare is always gonna be on the 3 and the 6. And the kick is gonna be doing boom 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 boom. Let's do it. Let's do it on real time. I'm gonna do it on real time, and then we're gonna take it slow so we can see the different part for the chorus. main groove is the syncopation on the hi-hat, the snare on 3 and 6, and the kick supporting. Very soft kick. I don't hit hard that kick because it's just like touching the head. We're obviously playing the chorus, and it's just an effect, basically helping the vocals and the rest of the instrumentation. After the chorus, we are basically going into the jazz part, and it has also a little break that I just do a single head roll on the snare, and I mark a really big crash just right before the hit on the snare. The snare marks the beginning of the jazz part, and this jazz part is really single. It's just the hi-hat is on 2 and 4, and it has quarter notes. I'm basically just doing quarter notes and keeping the groove of the jazz, the swing basically on 2 and 4, 2 and 2, because Eduardo's gonna be basically he's gonna be doing a walking bass figure. So let's do it. For the jazz part, what I like to do is fill the space with the snare. I do a little figure of ta ta ta, dun, 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 and I do it with a very softly. I do it just ghost notes. Actually, it's like, and the rest, all the accent is basically on the ride and the hi hat. The ride is always marking. I'm marking quarter notes on the ride, so it's gonna be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I mark the 2 and 4s with the hi-hat on that part. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And the snare. Ba, 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 ba. Let's do it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter notes, and then I just kind of swing a little bit on the middle of the phrase. So to do a little introduction on jazz, the swing basically is on the right cymbal, and then I just keep marking 2 and 4 with the hi-hat, and a slow swing will be like. And this is going to be considered a much faster swing. So it has basically like it's 3 times faster or 2 times faster. So when we are finishing with the groove on the jazz, I'm opening because I'm opening with the cymbals a little bit more because we're gonna go back into the intro groove, which is the really hard beat of the 2 and 4 with the hi-hat opening. So for that, I'm kind of doing a melting between swing and then rock, and I'm gonna show you what part is that. It's I'm gonna keep the hi hat always. I like to whenever I'm getting out of the jazz part. I like to do keep every single note like quarter notes with the hi hat. I like to support the rhythm with the hi hat always with my leg, with my left leg, instead of 2 and 4 because we're coming from jazz, and we're going 4. With both cymbals at the same time, but I start hitting harder the ride on that moment to create a little splashy and bigger grooveness of the rhythm. The jazz groove and into the the intro part again, and then after that we're gonna do the little break for the guitar solo, which is like a bridge, and I play it on the right as well with the snare, and it's the different rhythm that I'm gonna explain just right after. So let's do one more time the blending in between the jazz, the swing, and going into that rock part. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's gonna be the next part, and the next part is the bridge, which is marked by the guitar. It's a guitar solo, um, and that part I do it on the right. I keep a figure on the kick is boom 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 boom. So boom boom boom. I keep marking the snare on the end. It's a syncopated snare, and I just keep always um, single notes, single quarter notes on the right, and as well I do a little bit of the hi hat to support the rhythm and to support the speed. Let me do it again. The hi hat is just keeping kind of the the tempo. The kick is gonna be doing the boom 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 boom, and the snare is just right after that kick. Boom 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 bam boom 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 bam boom 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 bam boom 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 bam. While you mark on the right the quarter notes basically of the rhythm, it's doing pretty much the same thing as the hi hat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As soon as we're finished with the 6/8 part, the bridge as I call it, we go into the we're going back into the groove of the verse, um, which is the funky beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when we are going from the 6/8 on the bridge with the solo, the guitar solo, and we're going into the groove again, I just do a little break. I mark the right cymbal a little bit, and then I crash into the funky beat basically. And let me show you how is it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that marks going back into the funky. Um, just before we go into the the chorus again, and we do that for one more time, and then we're going into the chorus, and then we do the 6/8 to finish the song, basically. So it's kind of repeating the cycle. It's just connecting one the. It's basically connecting the different rhythms to go back into the other part, the next part. So we finish the bridge, we go into the break again, like the funky, and then we go into the chorus to go into the the bridge again to finish the song. I hope you enjoyed this little lesson, explaining the little parts of the different grooves on the song of Angel Child, how they connect to each other, um, how the intention on the drums are marking each different parts, and and the little grooves and the little breaks leads to the next part, um, to create like a full circle of parts connecting to each other. If you have any questions, please let me know. We can go over again uh, the different parts or the different techniques involved on this. Um, Thank you so much for listening and watching. See you soon.